larger systems, we support both high-performance computing, also known as Beowulf systems, and highly available computing, both cluster failover and single image models. We can do live migration of processes from one system to another in our highly available systems. Now, the trends in Linux up until this point have been to provide the functionality that other operating systems have, but now it's more or less settled down to scaling into more processors, more architectures, faster and larger systems, as well as smaller systems to be able to go down into embedded systems that are going into phones and microwave ovens and refrigerators and things like that. But free and open source software isn't just about the operating system. It's also about compilers and languages. So if you're teaching compiler theory, which I did, oh, by the way, I flunked compiler theory twice as an undergraduate student, right? And the only time I ever really understood it was when I had to teach it. Because when you're teaching something, you're not allowed to bleep over something. You know, I don't understand that. It won't be on the test. I'll just bleep over it, right? Not when you're teaching it. And I taught it, the last time I taught it was about 20 years ago, but I could go up to the board today and teach it. So you have compilers, not only the great language C, but all the different renditions of it, Objective-C, C++, C#, Fortran, Fortran 1, Fortran 2, Fortran 4, Fortran 77, 90, they're all there. In fact, the only complete rendition of Ada still in existence is a free software project that is done by a free software group. Interpreters, all the interpreters that you use in all the web coding and stuff, they're all there. They're all started as free software projects. Database engines, a huge number of database engines are out there. Flat databases, hierarchical databases, relational databases, object-oriented databases. Office systems, not just OpenOffice and LibreOffice, but KOffice and various other office packages that you can have. Multimedia tools for doing editing and audio, video, making movies, you know, all sorts of different stuff. And voice over IP, Asterisk, a private branch exchange system started as a free software project. It still is, free software. So if you want to set up a PBX system, you can get an inexpensive PC, put a couple cards in it, hook it up to your telephone system, and have a fairly sophisticated telephone system. In fact, if you go out to this place called SourceForge on the net, you'll find out that there's over 430,000 different projects out there being contributed to by 3.4 million programmers. Now people say to me, oh, Maddog, I've been out there to SourceForge, and there's like 42 different CD player programs out there, and there's 19 different MPEG-3 player programs out there, and some people are not working on them anymore, they're dead, you know, and there's all these really strange little programs that nobody ever seems to work on, and they look like they're dead. Maybe they're finished. Do you ever think about that? The reason that nobody's working on them anymore is because they're finished, they're done, they do what they're supposed to do, and you don't need to change them anymore. See, if you're a proprietary company and you're selling licenses, you have to have a new version so that everybody will buy it, right? But you know, if it's just done, then you don't have to work on it anymore. You just recompile it every once in a while, it's done. Okay, that's why they don't work on them anymore. I use the same mail reading program for over a quarter of a century. It started out as a RAND mail handling project at Carnegie Mellon. It was a command line based thing, and then all of a sudden they put an X wrapped around it, and then it stopped. But I kept using it because it kept working. And after a little bit, somebody said, "Oh, I'll put motif on it." And they did it, and they stopped. And after a while, somebody says, "Oh, we need to put mime in it." And then they stopped. And every time they stopped, I thought, this is it. Nobody's ever going to work on it again. But sooner or later, somebody picked it up. I never had to do anything to it. And I never had to pay for it. It was great. So these are the types of things. Now, even if you say then only 10% of those projects are any good, or 10% of those people do any work. That's 10% of 430,000. That's 43,000 software projects out there that you can pull down and use off the net for free. And it's 10% of 3.4 million. That's a lot of programmers. Now, Microsoft has 70,000 people working for them. I know that because it's in their statistics. Out of those 70,000 people working for them, 28,000 of them are in sales and marketing and therefore have no useful purpose. Okay. Now, of all the people that are left, some of those people are product managers that put, and some people put software into boxes, and some people take software out of boxes, and some people paint lines on the sidewalk or the driveway for parking and stuff, and some are security guards. So by the time you get down to it, even with a company like Microsoft and 70,000 employees, the number of people who bear the title of software engineer is probably in the range of 3,000. Compare that to 10% of 3.4 million. Now you begin to see why 80% of all the software ever written is not put into packages and boxes and sold on shelves, but is actually software that's developed for a specific purpose and can be turned into free software so that other people can benefit from it. So the other nice thing about SourceForge is the fact that you don't have to use the entire program. Let's say what you're trying to do is develop an application, use some type of searching and sorting algorithm or something, and you go, hey, this is a lot like this program I saw in SourceForge last week. Let me go up there, let me take just that part of the program, copy it into mine, make sure they've got the right copyright notice and licenses and everything, and I can use that software over again. So I don't have to rewrite it, I don't have to maybe introducing bugs by rewriting this code. I can use the code that somebody else has written before in my new project. So this is another use of SourceForge. It's another nice place, if you're teaching, to go and get examples of code to show your students. To show them, if you're teaching a course in data structures, or you're teaching a course in systems analysis, or you're teaching a course, go there and get the information. So if,